teacups, welcome back. We're taking a look at Chantal's vlog that she put out, vlogging in the Souk, Al Marabakia. I feel like I've just butchered that. I should have just said the Souk and Syrian grocery haul. I know that she's not the most engaging vlogger out there, but I will say I do like a good grocery shop. I like a good haul. So I'm probably going to find this vlog more interesting than I found her driving vlogs, because I don't find those interesting at all. So before we get started, my viewpoint on this being a scam still hasn't changed. The longer it goes on with him humouring her, the more I do stick with my original answer and say, okay, some kind of money laundering. I don't think he wants to go to Canada. I don't think she'd be the person to target if he wanted to go to Canada. I think there are better marks out there that would have less issues with like the taxes and sponsorship and things like that. But I do think some kind of money laundering in the future is the answer I'm sticking with. I did have a couple of questions in the comments. I should say I'm not an expert in a Middle Eastern marriage because obviously I've never been through one. But I did have someone ask in the comments and then someone else on Twitter. Or was it the same person on both? I'm not entirely sure. They were asking about the temporary marriages that you can get within Islam. There is a type of marriage that basically you can go into it for a limited period of time because dating is not allowed in Islam. So you can, to okay it in the eyes of God, to kind of get a get out of jail free card, as it were, you can do a temporary marriage to see what it's like together, and that sort of excuses you from the idea of kind of living in sin. You can be husband and wife in every sense, but it's not legally binding. If she were to go to Canada, it wouldn't be recognised by the courts or anything, but it's a way to be sort of socially, officially, religiously married without going through the expense of a traditional marriage. Or without having the responsibilities to the wife once you part ways, because it's always intended to be temporary. Foodie could be in one of those, or she could just be lying and she could be engaged instead of married. The question if she's in one of those, because then the timeline makes sense. It didn't make sense to me before because she didn't have time to go through all the paperwork you would need to go through in any kind of ceremony that I could research. I'm not saying my research was exhaustive or that I know pretty much anything, but one thing I have very much got experience of is all the red tape involved in doing anything official in any country you're visiting. So I would say that would be the only answer if it were a marriage, and in which case my question would be, well, does Foodie know what she's gotten into here, or is she so happy that she can actually say, screw the haters, I'm married, that she doesn't care? I don't know, but legally speaking, he would have no responsibility to her, and she could not use that kind of marriage to bring him over to Canada if it ended up being a thing. So how much she knows, how much she doesn't, whether it's an outright lie and they're not married, they're engaged, who knows? Who knows how much of a scam this is and how much she is the scammer or the scammy? I feel like money laundering bees is going to be the long-term answer. And I stick with that. But that's not really the point of this vlog. For this vlog, she's faking happy. It starts with a picture. I'm gonna maybe put this up on screen and let her introduce everything. Just 1 second. This beautiful thing. They do not look at ease with each other. This looks a little bit like, you know, when a celebrity is asked to do a picture with a fan, although celebrities tend to be a bit better at hiding it, but when they're caught unexpectedly and it's a bit awkward, that's how this feels. It does not feel like they've got any sense of ease with each other, and I don't feel the chemistry or the love. It feels awkward and a bit cringe. That's just me. I'm obviously coming at this with the knowledge that we have about the whole scenario, but I would not peg them as a loving couple here.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thanks for watching. This video is in a different format than usual. It's kind of a quick video, but I just wanted to show you some clips I forgot to put in some other vlogs, mainly things that I've been eating. This is just some examples of things that I eat on a day-to-day basis, just basically little staples or new things that I've tried.
When she says forgot to put it in another vlog, I feel like she was keeping it. She'd been saying she's going to be doing food blogs and things. I feel like she's been keeping it and can't be bothered to go out and get more clips. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's 10 minutes, 40 seconds. It's long enough to be a vlog.
And there's also some clips of the market area where we went to buy our rings. I did not film inside the ring store. We were not allowed to. There was a no camera sign.
She frequently respects all rules in terms of filming, so of course.
I will have more vlogs.
That's a bit shady of me. It's perfectly reasonable to follow a sign.
Talking about all of these things and trying some really good food down the line, different restaurants, Syrian food, Kuwaiti food, again, many different restaurants, many things to do, many different malls. We will have time for all of this, so please be patient. I appreciate it. So far, you guys have been so amazing. And thank you so much for watching.
You're welcome.
Alright, first item here is called Mahalabia. It's a middle
This is actually very delicious. I'm gonna let her describe it, but
dessert, very popular. It's garnished with nuts, pistachios, raisins, sometimes rose petals. It's a milk type of pudding. It's a very creamy pudding, and it's so delicious. And this was actually
you can see from the texture there, it is a pudding, but it's kind of thicker. Like sometimes I think it's got like rice flour or something in it. I'm not entirely sure. I've tried one with raisins flavored a little bit with cardamom, which is a very common flavor here. It's nice, it's delicious.
Given to us by a friend of Salah's in celebration of our marriage. Yum. Okay, so you guys know how much of a pickle freak I am, and so I asked Salah to find me some pickles, and these are the best pickles I've ever eaten in my life.
I love out of all the things she could have had, a jar of pickles. But you know, if it makes her happy.
These super pickled cucumbers.
There are some
I don't know how to pronounce the name brand, but
okay. Wait. I have bought you some products, okay? So the thing that puzzled me here when she says I don't know how to pronounce the name brand, because clearly it's not readable. With Arabic products or imported products or any products, you have an Arabic side to the label. Sorry, all the lights from the ring light. This is Twinings tea. And you know that because when you turn the box, there's usually an English side telling you. And I thought maybe, you know, with some of the really old school products, maybe they don't have that, but 99% of products do. So I went and looked at, I don't have very many kind of pantry, I don't eat pickles a lot and stuff, but if you're talking like this one here, this is a meat seasoning, meat masala seasoning. It is technically Bahraini, so maybe that was it. But it's got the Arabic and then it's got the English. It's got the Arabic, then it's got the English. Sometimes it's combined on the label. Sometimes it's a completely separate side of the label. But then you get stuff like this. This has a combined front, but then at the back it has the Arabic side and it has the English side. So if she wants to know what it is, why doesn't she just turn it? She's obviously got the English and the Arabic on both sides of this label. So at the side somewhere, the brand name is going to be listed in the text. I know it's a stupid thing to be like, hey, why aren't you doing this? Maybe I'm spending too long on it, but it just seemed like a very obvious thing to turn it and read the label.
It's so delicious. They are just crunchy and small and sour, but like garlicky. They're just unlike any pickles I've ever had in Canada. So I'm addicted to these pickles now. They're my new favorite snack.
I do like the call to prayer. You hear it here sometimes when I'm recording. What time is it? It's 6:05. I don't think you're going to hear it anytime soon. It would be typical if it just went off now. But yeah, when it goes, you can hear it everywhere.
Enjoying a mint lemon drink.
Jesus, that's very green if it's just mint. I wonder how much mint is in that. Because if it's lemon, usually you have mostly lemon, then a tiny bit of mint. Mint goes a long way. Or maybe it's a smoothie with some other green stuff in. Lemon mint is delicious. It's so refreshing in the heat.
This lemon mint drink is my go-to in Kuwait. We just wanted to show you a really cool, super tall building, so here you go, a super cool, super tall building.
She sounds very excited.
We showed you the Al Tabir Tower in the Kuwait Towers vlog, but here is a really good view of the tower from where we were.
That is a really good view. I like that as a scene. The thing I've heard about Kuwait in general is that all of the interest is in Kuwait City, and then there's not a lot built up outside of it because it is mostly foil and things, and apparently Bahrain is kind of the same. Here in Oman you have the wadis, which are like the sinkholes, which can be very beautiful, but we got it here and we get it to a lesser extent in Saudi as well. I have shown you that in some of the vlogs I've had in Saudi, where you'll have a thing and then you'll have miles of desolation and then you'll have a thing. It's not filled in the gaps yet because it's still a developing city. Now Kuwait City, this is obviously the capital. You have some beautiful areas like this. It's really funny to me when you have like the desert of old versus the modern buildings they put right next to it.
And also there is a very nice colorful fountain down the steps here. A lot of walking, but very, very nice area to walk. It wasn't too hot this evening. Honestly, I really enjoyed this mural. I thought it was really well done. So hats off to the artist, whoever you are.
I wonder if that's just a street mural, if it's part of the building that it's attached to there. What building is that?
It's a really nice one.
Is it a mall?
And it's just like a nice view beside the cafe. Here we are just walking around a bit of the market. What you see men wearing here is a traditional Kuwaiti outfit for men called a dishdasha.
That's true. They have it in Oman as well. Actually, the boys in my school wear it as part of their uniform. So they have a dishdasha, which is the long, like white smock, and then they have a hat called a kuma, which is kind of cool. Or some of the men wear turbans. They don't wear as much. The guy that I've just paused this on, where the word dishdasha is, the long headdress, they don't wear as much. It tends to be wrapped up kind of turban style, or the kuma. But I'm sure you could wear it like that as well, but Oman tends to prefer the other type.
So I guess I'll just do a bit of a voiceover here for you guys, just taking a walk around. Yes, walking around at first was very hard for me, especially in the change of temperature. I come from Canada, which is a very different climate, but I am adjusting actually. So
she's doing this thing again where, you remember when she started doing, when she was still with Nada, or pretending not to be, but with him and what have you, where she did 1 or 2 vlogs in between her live streams. And she was explaining what was going on as if she had been away for however many weeks or months or whatever. And we're like, we were here. We know this. You don't need to say this. And I feel like in a weird way, she's talking to the new audience she expects to get, because she has been wiping her channel and things. I think eventually we're going to see if this keeps going to the extent that I think it's going to, and how long term I think this is going to be. I think she's just going to kind of continue eroding away at her past videos and try and have this be the new her.
We just came here to look for wedding rings mostly, and
so if it's wedding rings, it's quite early in the process. I wonder why she doesn't have him on camera as much then, because you would expect him to be more involved in this then. I mean, these are just little clips because as I said, I think that she intended this to be a longer vlog, and then now she just can't be bothered to fix it. So to finish it, I should say. So we're getting the bits and pieces she's got left on her camera so that she has content. Because I'm also guessing at this point, you can go into the back end of YouTube and you can see how your earnings are doing. I'm guessing she's getting a little bit worried about her earnings at this point.
Maybe some abayas, but I will take you guys shopping in the future. We will shop in these. Don't you worry about that. So this is just a nice location. Salah took me just to walk around, do some shopping, and overall we had a very nice evening.
To me, like this location looks like any Middle Eastern location I've been. There's a certain point at which it starts to kind of look the same. It's very much typical of sort of Middle Eastern shopping, this kind of scene.
It was a very peaceful evening. Again, the temperature wasn't too bad.
Oh, I was really hoping we get away without the song. Turns down. I like that tower. Was that the tower she went up before, or is that something else?
I just thought this advertising tower was really cool. I just find advertisements from different areas very interesting, so just thought I would catch this on camera a little bit. Yeah.
STC is a mobile phone company. Oh, it's interesting that they operate there. I don't think they operate here. Does she mean Co-op like the brand? I didn't realise Co-op was in the country. This is a really typical grocery store. If you have been with me since my Saudi times, which isn't that long ago to be fair, I have done vlogs at like the supermarket we had in Saudi on the compound. Very, very similar. I'll just let it go through it. So glad she chose a non-Arabic music for this. Oh, here's what I was going to say. I didn't see anywhere like a fresh produce section, which is very normal. You occasionally get like frozen meat products like this, like you might sell chicken nuggets or fries or something. But later when she's doing a grocery haul, I was sitting there wondering, like, where's the fresh stuff? And it's because stores like this frequently won't sell it or might have a very, very limited supply, either just in the freezer section. Some of the bigger ones might have like an open fridge where you get chicken pieces like mine did, but then they didn't sell beef or anything else. Surprised they wouldn't go to a bigger supermarket to do a big grocery haul, to be honest, but maybe that'll be in the future. I wonder if they've got Lulu's there. That's my local. Well, I've got a few local, but... The back wall, oh, I finished it a bit late. The back wall where you see all that stuff, it's really common here to have a counter where you buy things like dates and nuts and raisins as well. I got some raisins from there instead of buying a bag. And I actually have in my local supermarket, I have they have coffee beans as well, so you can buy those by weight and they'll grind them for you there. Selection, to be fair.
So we have some eggs.
I think I have bought exactly that thing of eggs before. What kills me is like the plastic. You can see there are 2 holes in the top to hold it. You cannot hold eggs like that. They will just smash. There is nothing keeping those eggs in that tray. I've made mistakes before.
Here, note on the eggs, I find them to be very different from Canada. They're very fresh, much smaller too.
They're not especially old comparatively. The size thing is interesting though, because I know I was watching like an American who lives in Britain recently, and he does comparison vlogs, and he was saying how in America you'd be hard pressed to find anything other than like large or extra large eggs, like jumbo eggs. And I didn't realize it was the same in Canada, because in Britain we have all kind of sizes. We have small, medium, large, extra large, which is, I think, the same as your jumbo. But the egg sizes have a lot of variety, and I wasn't expecting her to be surprised by that. But yeah, they're on the smaller side here, I would say. There's usually about 10 grams difference between the egg classes, I find.
Have some pomegranate and apricot juice.
Oh, I do like pomegranate juice.
Huge bag of French fries.
Yeah. Sadia isn't a great brand.
Bag of potato wedges.
They're very common, but they're not great quality.
So this here is tuna. This here, they call it ishta. It's like a fresh cream. It's very delicious.
Al Murray, that's not how you pronounce it, I don't think, because I pronounce things wrong here, but they are available throughout the Middle East. They also have a thing, they sometimes call it breakfast cream, so you can literally scoop it. It's not liquefied in any way, so the texture's a bit more like clotted cream from England, but not as tasty, not as rich as that. I don't know why they call it, I guess they must put it on breakfast, hence the name, but I haven't seen a traditional breakfast with it in, so I'm not sure. But what did make me laugh here, let's look for a minute how much cheese and dairy she's got.
And we have one of my favorites, tahina and halwa.
Halwa. I'm sitting here, I was under the impression halwa was a sweet, but I might be confusing the name, because my kids get it sometimes. It looks like it should be chocolate. It's kind of a suspicious brown, halfway between like a pudding and a paste, and the kids love it, and oh, I hate it.
Similar to
But
tahina.
this is different.
It's very popular here. So this here is a type of cream cheese spread.
Yeah. Do you remember I said cheese in a can and it freaked me out? Same kind of thing.
You can eat on pretty much anything. And also some Turkish labna, they call it.
I like it.
Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing everything correctly, I'm learning. And some cream cheese. Some feta.
Why does she need so much cheese?
Some yogurt.
That yogurt, it's really, really good for dips if you're making, like I went to dinner with a friend of mine at one point. She got this. She like grated up some, or very, very finely chopped some cucumber and some garlic, and she made a really nice dip with this because it's very sour. When it says yogurt, you expect it to be slightly sweet. It's meant to be a dessert. Nah, it's completely like plain and sour.
And we have some juice, apple mixed berry, and some halloum cheese.
I had that, not that brand, but I had that for lunch today.
And we have some mint yogurt. I'm excited to try this lemon drink with mint because it's going to be very good for...
I really don't like Laban. The amount of times I have bought, if you go to the supermarket and you get, you know, the big 4-pint bottles of milk, they have the Laban looks identical. And the amount of times I've picked up Laban and been tricked and taken it home thinking it was milk.
My gut health, stomach health. And my favorite, pickles. Pickled cucumber here and some tomato paste. Got some spices, some cumin, some Maggi soup mix, kind of like the Knorr, I guess, and in North America. And then we have some black pepper powder and some pasta.
What meal is she making here? I mean, cream cheese and pasta, I guess?
Just some staples. We have a bunch of bottles of this orange and carrot juice, very fresh juice. Delicious.
Again, it's not a bad brand, because all of these, most of the things that are available in one Middle Eastern country is available across the GCC, because they usually just trade with each other quite freely. That's not a bad brand, but I wouldn't say it's very, very fresh. There's a ton of like juice places you can go and get fresh juice.
We have some Code Red and some Red Bull, some without sugar, for moi. We have some mushrooms in a can, some fool in a can, which is fava beans, and some paprika flavored chips, some spiral chips I never seen in my life with a cute bunny on them, some mortadella. This is very popular here, mortadella, I noticed. And
I don't understand it, but it is. How much pasta did she buy? My God.
Can't go wrong with pasta. So, last and certainly not least, we have the fresh fruit.
Thank God, some fresh fruit. It does actually look very nice.
Lots of pomegranates, some oranges, some apples, grapes, pears, more grapes, and tangerines.
How many chocolate bars does she have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's one over there, 14, 15 chocolate bars.
And these are
16,
some of the
there's the
sweets
Kit
you would
Kat I
find
couldn't see,
here.
17.
Kit Kat, we have that Cadbury bubbly. We don't...
Why do you need nearly 20 chocolate bars?
I have that in Canada. Galaxy Lion, never heard of that. No.
Oh, that's in the UK as well.
Sleep.
It's like a caramel wafer chocolate thing.
Very popular Syrian treat is this cocoa cream wafer.
Those wafer things are everywhere here, and I think because of the heat, if you have chocolate covered things, it can get really messy really quickly. They're still available, but if you have them, they can get messy really quickly. So I've found in more of the hot places that I visit, like the wafers are really popular because you can have the chocolate inside, but it stays more or less intact. Although I love that that was called Kata Kit, definitely not Kit Kat.
I hope you enjoyed this grocery haul.
I actually didn't hate it.
Alright, so just an example of a quick at-home meal. Some pita bread. I like this. I'm gonna try this mint yogurt drink here. Some eggs, cream cheese.
This seems like a really weird combination of things. I suppose mushroom omelette, if they were together, would make sense, but just sauteed canned mushrooms doesn't seem like it's it.
Fried mushrooms.
But bread I get. Okay, so bread, eggs, mushrooms. All right, I get it. But then
some chicken strips and French fries and
she's got chicken. That's another meal.
Air fryer.
And then this.
Some mortadella.
Mortadella is gross. I'm sorry. I've never been like a pepperoni person or a deli meats person, and this is basically what this is. You buy it. You know the massive sausages you can buy that they slice at the deli counter? You get that there. There's a beef one as well. I think this is a chicken one. It's not pleasant to me, but I don't love luncheon meat, and she does. So.
In the West, we call this luncheon meat. One of my favorite snacks, some fresh fruit and some cheese.
Don't you sit there telling me fresh fruit and cheese are your favourite snack when you've got 20 chocolate bars on the side of the screen.
It's yum. I'm very excited to show you guys for the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, by the way. I'm going to end the night. I have some Syrian kanafa.
Oh,
if you remember in my
nice.
past, I did try burnt kanafa before in a different style.
Okay, I don't follow him, but I saw on Twitter that apparently Nada's back and he gave us some shit about it being burnt. That's all I know. That's why she's mentioned it. Because, she has been online checking in on everyone. She's been commenting on reactors' videos. Because in that way that, she can't rage online the way she did because people are watching. But she's angry and she wants to say things.
It's out of this world. This smells so delicious.
Okay, guys. Get your foodie. Could you open it? All right. Hear me out because I know it doesn't look good, right? Kanafa is fucking delicious. You will enjoy it. This does not do the best of the presentation, but this is just how it looks. But I promise you it's nicer than she's making it look. I do notice though, this is takeout and it appears to be in the dark of the night. She just put that light on and she was trying to be quite quiet and it was quite dark. So I don't know what time she's eating this, but I'm guessing it's quite late. She's back on her regular schedule.
It's a dessert with cheese pistachio. And I'll put a description here.
You can get all different types. When I used to have the delivery app in Saudi, you'd get a kanafa restaurant and they'd have the traditional like this, and then they'd have cheese kanafa, Nutella kanafa, all kinds, cream kanafa.
So this is Syrian style. This is Syrian kanafa.
I think it's just
and then
across the
you just
Middle
also
East.
pour a syrup, a simple syrup over top, and it's eaten as a dessert. Bismillah.
Oh, and we're done. Okay then. All right, I mean, in terms of comparing the vlog she's put out so far, I like the fact that she was showing everyone around. I enjoyed the vlog more than I've enjoyed the others. We didn't get a lot out of it because he was not really present in a lot of it, and because I think on purpose she's trying to put it so that she's keeping very benign topics in her vlog. So if she wipes anything out, she's still got these. I don't think she wants to answer any questions about the marriage or the circumstances surrounding the marriage or potentially what's going on after the marriage. And when she goes back, she's keeping that all as quiet as she can, but it's just fueling speculation at this point. So she'd do better just to sit there and either own up to it or give the details. But then I think she knows if she did that, it would be like the front of it would just be picked apart immediately, and then she'd have no way to not see the scam of it. So I think she's just protecting herself in the sense of ignorance is bliss. So if she doesn't give information, I can sit here and I can say, well, that doesn't make sense on the timeline, and she can just refuse to say anything about it. But I can't confirm it if we don't know, and I think that's her thinking. But it'll all catch up one day, because you can't maintain a lie forever, you know? And she certainly can't. So we will see how that goes. But thank you very much for listening. Thank you for being here, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye-bye.